Hello and welcome to Track by Track Reviews. I'm Rory Sullivan, and today I'm in to talk about Kurt Weill's new album, Smoke Ring for My Halo. And Kurt Weill, you may remember from my War on Drugs video, who I credited all the guitar on that album to, or EP, I guess. And I said he does his own solo stuff that I don't like as much as the War on Drugs, which still is true. I really like his solo stuff. I really didn't like Childish Prodigy that much. I thought there were a couple good songs, but there were a couple like classic rock kind of songs that he did in there that I wasn't really that into, like Hunchback and stuff. Like, they're okay songs, but I didn't really get what all the hubbub was about. And this album it's getting some praise on Metacritic and Pitchfork Best New Music did, but really in the YouTube review community, I don't know if anyone's even really reviewed it, which I thought was really weird. But Kurt Weill just sort of does his own sort of solo folk acoustic music, and a lot of times it's just him and his guitar, but also there's percussive elements. Like he'll always have really interesting percussive stuff. Like there'll always be like shakers and like tambourines and shit too. But anyway, let's get into the first track, Baby's Arms. I think this is a really nice opener. I don't know if it necessarily represents the album perfectly, but because it's more like a sentimental track. I mean, you can tell by the title, Baby's Arms, and right away you get this intimate feel that's going to be present throughout the album, but it is kind of...
Rory!
What?
Dude, what's up, man?
Not much. How'd you get into my house?
The door was open.
Oh, shit.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a review.
Which review?
Kurt Weill, the Smoke Ring for My Halo.
Dude, I love this album.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, I'll review it. Come on, let's do it.
All right, well, I mean, you did break into my home, but,
Yeah.
and it is, it's very weird, but, all right. Yeah, you might want to scoot back a little bit, get in frame. This has never happened before. I haven't seen you forever.
I know, dude. That's why I came over.
So weird.
Yeah.
All right, but, yeah, I'm on the first track.
Okay,
so
sweet.
Good timing.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've listened to this album, because we were planning to do it for,
like 7 years ago.
Yeah. And we've been busy.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about
Baby's Arms. It's a good song.
Got anything else to say about it?
No, the whole review, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to say good song.
I'm glad
that's my
you
only
showed up,
input. No, okay, Baby's Arms, yeah, it's a good song. It like sort of sets the like beginning mood of the album, and like you sort of start to get to feel like what the rest of the album's going to sound like. And this like perfectly sets up like the song structures that you'll hear throughout the rest of the album, you know what I mean?
Good point.
Like, but it's still a really good song, like really unique. There's such a unique guitar sound throughout this whole album, you know what I mean?
And one thing about his vocal style too is it's very like sleepy and sort of
it reminds me the
sort of mumbly.
whole album reminds me so much of the Velvet Underground.
Really? Yeah, anyway, let's get on to the next track, Jesus Fever.
Yeah.
This is like a shift from the last song, which was kind of melancholy, and this song's very upbeat and I don't know. It's just so insanely catchy. It's so catchy.
Yeah, it's nothing too radically different from the last track. I mean, it still kind of follows the basic pattern, but it's still a good song.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And I don't know, another cool thing that he did is, a lot of times it'll sound like there's not a whole lot going on, like it's just him and his guitar, but he actually mixed electronic and acoustic drums, and then there's some nice piano at the end. So
yeah.
But it still seems really simple.
That is true. Like on this song and throughout the whole album, there actually is a lot more going on than you first realize. Like actually, the first time I listened to this album on headphones, I was like, whoa.
The next song, Puppet to the Man, is kind of back to what I was talking about on Childish Prodigy. This just seems like more of a like T-Rex guitar riff, like classic rock.
It's way more of a sort of classic rock song. This song especially reminds me of the Velvet Underground the most.
Really?
The vocal delivery is a little bit more intense.
Yeah, and lyrically also, he like a lot of times he just seems like in his lyrics. Like, he talks about sleeping so much on this album and just, like, being lazy.
Yeah.
And in this song, it's like, you may think I'm just a puppet to the man.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm a rebel now. The next song, On Tour, we agree, is
probably
one of the best songs on the album.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely one of the best. I mean, lyrically, it's
Yeah, it's great.
It's awesome.
Like the one lyric, like it was actually the first lyric that stood out to me. The lyric, I want to beat on a drum so hard until it bleeds blood and something.
Yeah.
But
There's actually a couple really interesting things that I want to point out about the lyrics of this song. One is, I believe he writes about wanting to write his life down in a book and then like burn it or something. And I
Yeah.
think he references that in another song later. Another one of my favorite lyrics, there's so many good ones on this song, is I want to sing at the top of my lungs for fun, scream annoyingly, because that's just me being me. I
yeah.
just love like personal little like stupid
Yeah,
little
and
antics.
as far as the music goes, it starts off with like sort of this like simple guitar riff, and it sort of grabs your attention. And then it like a little bit sort of falls into like the pattern that the songs have on the album. Yet the production and just like all the different tracks and the lyrics, they keep you so wrapped up in everything that's going on.
All right, the next song, Society Is My Friend, is one of my least favorites on the album.
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't know if that's partly because it immediately follows such a great song or what, but it doesn't deviate from like the style of the album at all. It's just so repetitive. And I almost feel like this track is a little bit almost overproduced. Like all the guitars sound like really sort of like clangy and
there's
shimmery.
something, I was just telling you this, there's something about the drums that I really don't like how they sound and just, I don't know, I don't really like the floor tom beat. I think it's this song, the I Want to Kiss You on the Lips, or on the Mouth, without closing it all that much.
Oh yeah.
I like that one.
All right, so runner-ups.
Yeah, the plucking guitar part is so
it's
good.
fucking great. This sort of follows the same songwriting pattern. Yeah, it still works.
Yeah.
Like there's all this different shit going on in the background, like all these different tracks.
Yeah, that's the thing I noticed, like with our complaint with Society Is My Friend. This song's also really repetitive. He sings the chorus a bunch, but it's just so pretty and catchy. It doesn't.
Yeah,
It adds to the song instead of taking
right.
away.
The music works better for some reason. I don't know why exactly. I just feel like
Hits the right notes.
Yeah, the riff is more fleshed out.
I wrote down two
Yeah.
lyrics that really struck my ear. Take a whiz on the world, I
Yeah,
believe he
yeah.
says, and then also punch the future in the face.
Yeah.
Just really kind of absurd stuff, but
that's great.
it sticks in your head, which
Yeah.
is what's important. All right, the next song, In My Time, was released several months ago as a free download, and I guess I'll leave a link. Yeah, this is one of my favorites on the album. There's like a million hooks. There's just so many catchy parts to this song. And the guitar also. He sort of goes back to like the classic rock kind of guitar, like he solos in here, but it doesn't feel like it did on Puppet to the Man. It feels a lot
it's got
better.
more of like the washed out sort of feel that the other tracks have. Except it's louder, more prominent. It's not less in the background, the guitar.
Yeah. This song just makes me feel so good when I listen to it. It's so like bittersweet, and there's like a nostalgic element to it for some reason. Well, I guess because it's called In My Time, but and he's sort of reminiscing. Next song, Peeping Tomboy, is a really good song also. This song, I believe, is
really
just Kurt Weill and guitar.
Yeah, I think so. Really lyrically weird.
Yeah.
Gotta be the lyrically weirdest song on the album. It's like, I mean, the song is called Peeping Tomboy. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's really fun because he's like, I was a peeping tomboy, you know what I mean. And I'm like, no, I actually kind of don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like, you make it sound like it's a normal thing, Kurt Weill.
It's one of the simplest, and it's another great plucking guitar part.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's along the lines of Runner-Ups and On Tour, but a little weirder. The next song, Smoke Ring for My Halo, the title track, is...
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Fuck you. I thought that one of the cons of this song is that it sounds like On Tour, but not as good. So
Yeah, it kind of does.
I always forget what this song sounds like, and I feel like that's never a good thing. And this song is hardly bad. Like, when I listen to it, it's like, oh, this is nice. As far as pros go, my favorite part of this song, first of all, I think there's some great subtleties. There's some really good electric guitar work in the background that's really subtle.
I think the backing stuff of this song might be the best
It's really good.
on the album.
It really is. But I will
Right,
say
right.
one of my favorite lines, which going back to him being sort of this lazy person and bringing it up all the time, one of the lines is, sipping from a soda can exercises my hand. I want to lay down. It's like, wow,
That's
you're a lazy
hilarious.
motherfucker. Like, the last song on the album
Is our biggest
Ghost Town,
disagreement yet.
Is our biggest disagreement. I
Okay.
think it's maybe the best
Okay,
song
so I
on the
was
album.
mentioning how I can't even remember what Ghost Town sounds like, and I was convinced Smoking for My Halo was the
Yeah.
last song. And probably because I don't like the song at all. This might be my second least favorite song on the album.
It's so good. It,
which is
it could be
painting
my
Roy.
favorite.
Okay, I'll
All right, yeah.
I'll list out the
state your
reasons
case
why I
and I'll
don't
state
like
mine.
it. Okay.
Defend yourself.
The whole theme of this album, as we were mentioning, is it's repetitive. Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the thing about it is this is the longest song on the album. It's 6 minutes. It fucking repeats so much. Like, it's like 4 minutes of the same thing, and then he shifts it a little where it gets like a little bit louder and there's more guitar. And then he really fucks everything up by putting in like a synthesizer. He tries like the hardest to make like the cliche like ending minute to an album you could possibly imagine.
All right. Well, I just love the atmosphere of this song. I just feel like it's so easy to get lost. It's just like so dreamy and like hypnotic. I just love it. Once again, bringing up these really lazy lyrics, I think the opening line is, "In the morning, I'm not done sleeping. In the evening, I guess I'm alive." And then think I'll never leave my couch again. And then at the end, just a line that I really like is, "When I'm drinking, I get to joking, then I'm laughing, falling down." Once again, adding to this really relatable side of him, to where he's just like an everyday kind of guy who just wants to have fun and chill.
he mainly does what he's been doing the whole album. It's just, I feel like it's overkill.
Yeah, that's the album. Sam, what do you think?
Well, I ended up liking this album a lot more than I thought I would. I'm normally not into the kind of this like typical sort of like, he's not really indie.
I think it is.
Well, yeah, okay, he's on Matador. So yeah. I mean, it's like, it's indie, but it's more like sort of folksy.
Yeah.
Like, it feels nostalgic, the whole album.
Exactly.
It's sort of, I mean, which is sort of like a trend in music. I mean, it's not 80s, but it still feels old somehow, but yet new at the same time. Great production, great lyrics, great voice. I mean, some great killer songs in here, but as I've pointed out, like some major gripes that I have is just the song structures and the repetition get a little old for me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It just, sometimes like songs with Society's My Friend and Ghost Town, and then a few times on a couple of others, it just sort of gets to me, and it's like, yeah, okay, you've got some good ideas here, it's just nothing's really happening. Like, I feel like I'm always expecting a bit more. A 7.5.
Okay.
For pretty friggin' good, but nothing out of this world.
For me, I feel like, I guess my last review, it was so long ago, sorry about that, by the way, was James Blake, and one of my complaints was that I felt no connection to James Blake at all, on any kind of personal level.
Yeah.
And with this album, it's the total opposite.
That's true.
It's like I feel like I know Kurt Vile.
Yeah.
I just feel like Kurt Vile totally imprinted his personality and his lifestyle into this music, not only in the lyrics, but in the style of the music. It's just so like relaxed and chill and just easy to listen to.
Yes,
It's just
definitely.
easygoing. I feel like some of the cons, like you were saying, some of the songs do get a little repetitive, which makes me think that maybe a couple months down the road, I'm not going to love this as much as I do right now.
Yeah. You can only listen to it so much before you get a little bit bored of it.
Also, some of the songs do run together. Like when I always forget what "Smoke Ring for My Halo" sounds like, and just some.
Blasphemous.
Hey, fuck you. I'd rather listen to Ghost Town. And I was reading comments on NPR's website because they streamed this album, and I was just curious, so I wanted to see what people thought. And a bunch of people were saying, and one guy in particular said it was like playing a game of Find the Influences. There's a ton of people, like if you go on like his Last FM page or something, it's going to be like, oh, this sounds like blank.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot of that. In the end, yeah, it's a guy with his guitar. He's not doing anything groundbreaking here, but he's not afraid to be himself, and he's got a knack for catchy melodies. And to me, there's always going to be a place for that, and I'll always want to listen to it.
Yeah.
So I gave this an 8 out of 10.
I
Just
knew
a
you were
little-
going to give it that.
A little above the answer
Yeah.
that I wrote right there. Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
if you like Kurt Vile, what are you doing? Go check out the War on Drugs. They're just as good. I like them better.
I would give Wagon Wheel Blues an 8.
That's our review for Sam May. I'm Rory Sullivan, and this has been Track by Track Review.
And
See you next.
don't say it. You're not going to do it next week.
See you next week.
No, no.